What's up, everybody? Destroyer here, back with another Rise of the Witch King pro commentary or whatever. Pro game. It's not a pro commentary. I'm not a pro commentator. Just a amateur. But yeah, we have a 2v2 on Buckland, played by some good players here. This is a replay I downloaded from gamereplays.org. Good place to check out replays if you want to check them out yourself. So we have TheRing as the Goblins in the bottom left. Bottom right, we have his partner, MattysMirk. And top right, the other team, we have Saint Maher. Or, yeah, I guess that works. And his partner, Turgon, as the Goblins. And yeah, Saint Maher's men. Is that Maher? I guess so. I don't know why he's a saint now. Maybe he's been anointed or something. Who knows? But we have a Uruk pit opening from Eisen here. From MattysMirk. Let's see, Goblins going with the Goblin Cave. Who's this player again? TheRing. Alright. And the other Goblin, Turgon, going for Goblin Cave as well. As you might imagine, Goblin Cave is pretty standard opening for Goblins. Goblin spam is kind of the key there. And we have a barracks being thrown around by Maher. With some Gondor soldiers there. We'll begin to probably either capture the outpost or apply pressure to his opponent. Most likely capture the outpost or destroy it, one of the two. As you don't want your enemy to have the outpost any more than they want you to have the outpost. So it seems 4 teams, everyone's going for the outpost right immediately. There's some Uruk swordsmen coming in as well. It's like a war chant being thrown down on these Gondor soldiers as well as the goblins. Good placement so they can both war chant each other, and same with the other team. Very good teamwork strategy there. Looks like nobody deciding to capture the outpost, as it would be pretty pointless, and they'd be wasting their war chant buff. So he's going to be sending his guys in immediately to start smacking some buildings, doing as much damage as possible, as are the goblins. And the other goblin team, from the top left, is going to be assisting in the defense, apparently. But he will have to defend his own land as well. So he's going to need more goblins. We do have some goblin archers being built. That'll be a good counter for this. And goblin warriors are very weak. Isengard seizing this opportunity to actually capture the outpost there. Good call. He'll at least get some resources out of it. He's at least got 50. That's more than every other player has gotten from it. So it's not like it was not worth the time. And he is not being attacked. As you see, he has the time to build up his structures. He's actually building the very expensive clan steading there. Clan steading allowing you to get Wildmen of Dunland and Wildmen Axe Throwers. And it looks like this goblin attack will be fended off by this goblin spam of the green in the top left. Is this a green too? Like, no, it's not green. That would be green. This is a very dark green. And then we have orange, obviously, which is blatantly orange. Yeah. But it looks like Gondor is going to be pushing in pretty hard here with a lot of soldiers, and he does have his war chant on, or rallying call, I mean. So Saint Maher will be doing a bit of damage here. Quite a bit of damage, in fact. Also, these guys have shield formation if they decide to do that, which is pretty strong. A little too strong, in fact. I don't think they should have it at level 1, personally, as it does make them pretty tanky in comparison to other troops for their price. You don't see men lose too often because of how strong they are, but it's not like they're invincible. And it looks like the outpost is going to be taken down by the goblins are not wanting the Isengard player to have it, but actually failing to kill it off because of the goblin spam here, trying to counter it. So you will at least get a few precious seconds more time of the resources with that thing. There's just a lot of spam in this map at the moment. Lots of goblins everywhere, and then we have Isengard and men, which might as well be playing as spam because, I mean, all we see is Gondor soldiers. I think you can almost count the men as a spam team. Like, they're almost just as bad as Goblins in Mordor and Angmar, as far as I'm concerned. As most players tend to just do this, and just make lots of Gondor soldiers. Which is a valid tactic, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. And Builder actually throwing down the wall hub, trying to save himself. He might want to throw it down once again. Oh no, these are his partners. Okay, never mind. I was going to say. He's standing in the middle of Goblin archers. We have lots of wildmen here, as well as some crossbows from Isengard. Trying to counter this, stem the tide of these men here. Lots of Gondor soldiers. Looks like he is actually winning this battle though, as his crossbows are doing a lot of damage, especially with the war chant. But he didn't get them all, and they will push forward and try and take out some furnaces, I mean. But as you see, the guys are just coming out and getting slaughtered here, trying to get away quickly as possible without losing as many people as possible. But he will lose guys nonetheless. And actually, ooh, this Goblin horde going to attempt to stop this Isengard battalion here. A few more reinforcements arriving from the west there. And Gondor and Isengard are having a skirmish, as well as the Goblins. Goblins are helping their partner out here. In a 2v2, I'd say it's pretty crucial to help your partner. Otherwise, if they die, you're basically dead, so you know, you don't want your partner to die. So if you're trying to play seriously, you don't want your partner dead, as you will soon follow. And that's not good for anyone, unless you're the other team, in case that's actually good for them. Because that's the idea, to win the game. Turns out, Wildman actually being upgraded with the torches. Torch upgrade is pretty strong. I do like the torch upgrade on the Wildman. I'm not sure if when you put them in a tower, they throw torches still in the patch 2.02 of Rise of the Witch King. Never tried that outside of a regular Battle Familiar 2. But that was a thing. Possibly still is. Devastation being used here. Which reminds me, let's take a look at the powers. I mean, we're kind of already. We have Devastation, War Chant, and Rebane. Is it Creebane? Creebine? I don't know. I call it Creebane, just because I'm dumb. Maybe that's how you say it, maybe not. We have the Hobbits and the Rallying Call from the men. Goblins have Backcloud and War Chant and Scavenger from the bottom left Goblin. I definitely like the giving of Scavenger. Every Goblin should go for Scavenger. I mean, first if you can, but I mean, if you maybe need to summon Wildmen or something, possibly you might want to get the other power. I can't remember how the power tree is set up in the Rise of the Witch King. Maybe. And the Hobbits being summoned down there, and the Vial, Vial of Galadriel being used to make units flee of terror. A lot of players don't actually use that. Obviously, the pros do, but like a regular player probably doesn't even know about that. If you click on Frodo, you can use his Fear ability, which is quite handy. And that's not just a Rise of the Witch King thing. He does have that Fear ability, I believe, in all versions of Battle Familiar 2. If I'm not mistaken. Cave Troll actually being summoned out by the Goblins. That would make short work of these men. I would love to see him giving a stick to him. I never see players use the Find a Tree. Find a Tree is so good. I don't know why they don't, but maybe there's some particular reason someone would want to inform me about. But I'd say it's definitely worth the time to send him over here, grab a tree. Maybe he's going to? No. That would also counter these pretty well as well. And Isengard's definitely need some pikemen soon. Okay, here we go. He is all over it. Good call. Because Rohirrim will just make very short work of those crossbows if there's no pikemen around. The last thing you want is your army of crossbows flattened by a bunch of hooves. It's not good for your team. Rohirrim doing a lot of damage there. Let's get a real close up. Yeah, it's looking like the texture models are actually improved. So it does work on Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02. That HD texture thing. Maybe I'll make a video on that. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's a very slight change. I have HD textures or whatever, and I like it. It doesn't work on Rise of the Witch King units or anything added by it, so Angmar is untouched. But I mean, for all the vanilla units, they're pretty cool. They're slightly higher resolution textures than normal. And no one's base seems to be in a lot of trouble here. Everyone's pretty even. Everyone's trying to push on Gondor here, but Gondor holding strong, walking around in shield formation, although quickly being switched to line formation to get the movement back. We have alerts out for Isengard, already level 4, almost level 5 even, so he will get a, what's this, leadership at level 5, that's right. So he wants to be in combat as much as possible. Maybe, no. I was gonna say maybe send alerts after the Rohirrim, but I don't know if him by himself is probably the best thing, sending him to Rohirrim or the swordsman, because he may die and then that's not good for him. Ooh, Cave Troll, definitely want to go for those Rohirrim, although smart, running away the Rohirrim, keeping his hero Rohirrim in archer mode, as the troll will be taking damage from range. And using his Rohirrim as archers, which is a good call. Good play there. And we have some rangers there. Also looking a little bit better. I like it. Sorry, I'm just admiring my units. I didn't actually get to look at all the teams when I installed this thing. I just looked at a couple and I was like, oh, those are nice. Some people, you might not even notice this on YouTube because YouTube kind of makes things look a little worse. But I notice. And especially since I watch zoomed out, so I can see what's going on. Shelob being thrown out here into the fray. I think Shelob's actually faster than I remember. I think in patch 2.02 version 4 she's pretty quick. I like that actually, because otherwise she's pretty crappy. I don't like Shelob as a hero generally, but I've never seen her used in Rise of the Witch King, so I actually don't know. I'm used to the version 1.06 Battle for Middle-earth Shelob, which is very bad. But she'll make short work of a troll, no doubt. And taking it down with no remorse, no mercy. Worm being summoned down in the middle of the men army. Ouch. It's going to bring the pain with some fire there. Actually coming up under the goblins. And, ooh. Doing some fire damage there. That goblin, unfortunately, caught in the crossfire. I think that actually is a goblin. Doesn't this go to this goblin? Yeah. It does indeed. It belongs to that goblin. The bottom left, the ring. I think Matters holding on quite well. He does the hobbits. Yeah. Out. He has lots of Men of Dale. I keep calling Men of Dale. Dune Rangers. Nope, they're not doing any Rangers. Athelian Rangers. I'm gonna go through every archer until I get the right one. But yeah, also having a heroic statue here, giving his troops leadership, which is nice. Definitely against leadership on archers is always a nice thing to have. So we'll be doing quite a bit of damage from range, and that is quite ideal. And yeah, things are looking pretty good for the top team, I'd say, right now. Maher's getting a good force together. And as is, well, yeah, Turgon is definitely getting a force together. He's got some mountain giants out. Level 3 fissure. He could also get some fire drake brood if he ever set himself enough for that. I don't know how good those are. Never actually seen them really used by the pro people. But I haven't seen too many games. I've only recently started watching replays, so we'll see. But yeah, these mountain giants will actually be doing a lot of work here. Actually doing a lot of friendly fire as well, but it's a small price to pay. No one values the goblin life. At least not very highly. We have a Drogoth actually out in the field now. from the top left player, Turgon. And he's going to be doing a bit of damage to these archers, killing quite a few there with his fireball. So that's a scary thing to have on the field. He will need to be careful, as those archers will do massive amounts of damage to him if he gets caught out of position. Or possibly a TheRing ranger gets summoned under him or something. It could be bad for him. But yeah, having these giants out is going to be very good. He has the siege. Now, can he get to the base is the question, as the other goblin does the same. Having another giant on the field. But they also have a Shelob and a Drogoth. So the bottom left team looking particularly strong in the hero department, as well as army. Although the army size for this team is quite substantial as well. Continuing to get mountain giants out. The men have a pretty diverse army there. Looks like he's transitioned mostly out of Gondor soldiers and into tower guards, as he's going to want to use those, but he will still keep his army diverse by keeping more swordsmen here. Swordsmen are still good, especially against the pikes over here. It looks like the battle has begun. Arrow volley going down, killing lots of goblins there. Shelob charging right into some pikemen. Probably not the best thing to do. Casting a fear down though. Doesn't actually look like the fear worked, as those tower guards are sitting there fighting still. So that's strange there. Another arrow volley going down, right on top of these guys. Looks like they all live though, fortunately for them. Leaving them on low life, but still, they will live nonetheless. Unfortunately, both the bottom teams are evil, so he will not actually have any healing wells to use. The ring's fortress taking a lot of damage from those giants, but all 4 giants being killed pretty quickly. Looks like he managed to save his base with that Drogoth. Drogoth definitely proving his worth today, as he did save the fortress, undoubtedly. But there is a bit of rebuilding to be done. All his things are in rubble. I think that's like the Russian currency. I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. Maybe the ruble is in rubble. Who knows? Balrog being summoned now. Well, that's going to be doing a bit of damage. I heard a Tom Bombadil as well. He's definitely over here. But let's go see Balrog, because Balrog is always more exciting to watch than Tom Bombadil. Not to mention just way more cinematic angle with his fire. Rebuild being thrown down actually trying to save the building. Actually does save the farm. Doesn't save the stable. And Balrog walking around, not too sure where he's going. Maybe he's looking for something in particular. You definitely want that, yeah? The only rangers. No more. The archer range has been taken down. The statue being crushed. The Wildman pouring in, trying to do some damage. We have Wormtongue as well. If he gets leveled up, he can be a big factor as well. Taking heroes from the men, and also being able to backstab, which is pretty useful. Although I don't know if there is actually any heroes from the men, which is quite strange considering the men are actually the strongest hero team, I feel. Sometimes they can win with just hero spam. It's a bit ridiculous, but it does happen. And it sounds like Balrog has expired. Each of those teams seem okay. And we do have a green dragon now. Actually, no, that was the original one, wasn't it? I think the top left player was the first one to have a dragon. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Does the other player have his dragon still? That's the question. I don't see the enemy, or the bottom left Drogoth. Can't say enemy because I'm not on the team with any of these people. They're all enemies in one way or another. Omer getting caught out of position. They're trying to capture the signifier, getting cripple shotted. He will be immediately picked off. Saint Maher going to lose Omer quite quickly. He's going to need to get out of there. Ooh, nice cave bat throwdown on top of that, weakening the armor of all of those units, allowing the arrow volley to do the damage it needs to. Here we have Saruman, the Grand Wizard himself. R.I.P. Mr. Christopher Lee, the original actor who played Saruman. He died recently. Yeah. Looks like things are going... Well, I guess there's no clear victor in this game. As of yet. We're quite a ways in. Sounds like somebody actually knocked the ring out. It seems it was a farm. Golem's not very sneaky to be killed by a farm. I find it kind of funny that he gets spotted by a farm and gets killed, but hey. And we have a warg sentry being thrown down by MattysMirk. I don't know. Are these good? Somebody tell me in the comments, are these any good? I have no idea. In patch 2.02 version 4, I couldn't tell you if those were good. I know I've seen anyone use those. Maybe there's something I'm unaware of that makes those usable. That would be kind of nice to know. Anyway, we do have a Boromir out on the field, although it looks like he will actually die to Shelob, which is unfortunate. Boromir not living as long as he should have, just like the movie. Boromir, my always favorite character, as in Game of Thrones. Didn't last long enough. The actor Sean Bean never plays in his movies long enough. Unfortunately. We do have a giants being thrown, or pushed forward from the ring. If he can get to the fortress with those, under the cover of the armored Isengard, that can be disastrous for the men. Will he make it though, is the question. There's a band of goblins here. He does have Shelob there. Sounds like Drogoth has been repurchased by the black player, TheRing. And Turgon is actually pushing forward on the ring. Not the ring itself, but the player of the ring. And now the ring could be in a bit of trouble. His fortress is still wounded. It is repairing, but if this giant gets up there, he could be in some trouble. Looks like the giant's going into melee combat, using Stomp, trying to kill off all these things. Shelob running home to try and kill off this giant. Good call. Now we have 3 giants trying to take out the fortress. Ooh, it's going to be close. But Drogoth, unfortunately, taking him out right before... Do men still have rebuild in this patch? Let's see. He does have rebuild, so yeah, the men still have rebuild in here. I'm used to the men not having rebuild because of the patch I play in. Which is strange, because they had rebuild, it got taken away, and this one has it again, so it's... I like the fact they have it, I'm used to the fact they don't have it, one might say. Ooh, Saruman with the fireball, killing the Drogoth, but dying in the process, unfortunately. At least he got one of them. So, Turgon does not have Drogoth anymore. He exploded in a fiery ball of death. And now Turgon is pushing forward on... nope, Turgon is his player. The ring is pushing forward on Turgon. Will he manage to do some damage here? We will see. Also, MattysMirk pushing forward on Maher there. So, both teams from the bottom pushing forward. The vicious counterattack, we'll see how far they get. Probably not too far, it looks like. It looks like his forces ran out pretty quick. He ran out of steam pretty much immediately after getting in there. Forcing him to retreat, possibly regroup with his ally. If they could 2v1 one of the guys, it might swing things in their favor. Watcher being summoned down under the archer there. Purple shot being used on Omer. I'm surprised I clicked him like in midair. Oh, I almost did it again. Boromir back on the field as well. Still level 1. 1 of 2. Horn of 2. Horn is level 2, so he needs to get level 2 to stop his troops in position and possibly kill them. So Boromir's taking a bit of damage. I think he was poison stung by Shelob, but he was healed. I believe that cures the poison, if I'm not mistaken. Now Worm being summoned down. All kinds of things being thrown down at this men team here. Rebuild being used on his fort to keep it alive. And if Isengard and the Goblin player here actually go in together, they could actually take out this fort. Possibly kill off St. Maher here. Boromir's just being kept stunned this entire game. Pelted with arrows. And his heal was already used, so he is going to die. Unfortunately. There is a Drogoth here as well. Things are not looking good for St. Maher. And unfortunately, Turgon doesn't really have the troops necessary to save his partner, I don't think. It looks like many, many guys will be getting in here. And the Army of the Dead, the savior of the men. That is unfortunate for MattysMirk, as he will lose everything here. He needs to turn around and attack alerts there. Stop running. Oh, you only have so much time and there's alerts that just... Oh no. Where is he trying to go with these? Oh, maybe just trying to get sight so he can go in with his Balrog? Oh, alerts is still alive. Somehow. Saruman back on the field as well. But Balrog is here, and he will do his damage, as he usually does. Looks like fire might have caught him somehow. Wizard Tower being used. Not quite hitting its mark, it looks like. Completely missing Balrog by a mile. It's unfortunate. Balrog will go around destroying farms, destroying buildings. Looks like all the troop production buildings, aside from this siege works, which isn't going to be too much help, is actually gone from Isengard. And the men's fortress still stands, although he is being attacked by wildmen. So, not quite sure what to think here. Both teams did pretty equal damage to each other, I'd say. Although I'm sure the economy of Isengard is much stronger. Let's take a look at Maher. He has 2 grand and about 410, and then they have 2 grand, 410, 400. Yeah, they're about even, I guess. But maybe the income rate is faster for Isengard because he has industry. That would make sense. And he has the lumber mills as well, which also supplements his income without him getting extra command points. So that's kind of false. Isengard does have a superior economy, obviously, as you might expect from Isengard. They have the best economy in the game, in my opinion. Spear throw being used on Drog... Oh, that's Eowyn, actually. I thought that was Homer for a second. Eowyn spear throw being used on Drogoth, not doing much of anything. But I guess every little bit helps. Balrog being summoned down right under the dragon actually did some damage to him, it looks like. But I think this is the end of the men here. He's actually hindering his guys a little bit. We actually have a little fire drake brood. Although it is being killed off quite quickly. These are actually, or maybe those were, these fire drake broods were from the top left layer maybe. Yeah, this is a slaughter here. Tons of things are dying to fire. So much fire. Balrog being used to try and destroy the fortress as much as possible. He might get it. Especially if his giants actually start hitting the fort. He needs to get this fort down immediately. And I think with the giants' help, he's not going to have an answer for this. And these are Isengard heroes, so he shouldn't have to worry about those. Eowyn's spear throw doing negligible damage there. Also being crippled by alerts and just immediately dispatched. Looks like a rebuild was thrown down again, but it's not going to be enough. I think St. Maher is dead here. Yeah, that is the end of St. Maher. And I believe the bottom team will take the game there. Yeah, definitely will. Turgon has been defeated. So yeah, well played to everyone in that game. That was an interesting game to watch. Bottom team taking the victory after a long, hard-fought battle there. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. I did. And I will see you in the next replay of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02. See you next time.